the perfect end result of feminism. That's destructive.
By the time you finish calling, oh, I'm going to leave this chair with a wet patch.
Rob, the world's bring the asteroid.
Do you think you're a good role model for women?
I'm a clear example of what women have fought for years.
So sleeping with 1,057 men in a day.
It's good work ethic.
Feminism is a bullet that a man has shot. The entire Western world is women looking for money.
All those men here are gay. Because according to Andrew Tate, if you've been with a woman who's been with a man before you, then you're gay. And I have a lot of things to say about that. But I feel like this time, you should be the one talking. That's why you tell me if the Andrew Tate and Bonnie Blue podcast was wild. So guys, you're gay. Alright, what's your name?
My name is Zach.
I'm Kev.
Tyler.
Tor.
Dustin.
Livia Rose Johnson.
Armand.
Luis.
Ricardo.
Arturo.
I'm Diego.
Bruno.
My name is Max.
Okay, nice to meet you, man. Do you know Andrew Tate and Bonnie Blue?
Yeah, I know of them, just on stuff I see on social media and stuff.
What do you know about them?
I know that Bonnie Blue, I think she does fans, and I've seen that she's just pushing the boundaries of what Steph can do in that space. And I think Andrew Tate was a big kind of manosphere guy, but also he's a trafficker.
Allegedly.
I'm a alleged trafficker.
Andrew Tate is a controversial profile on the internet, and Bonnie Blue is controversial in another way.
Yeah. Two opposites.
Two opposites, yeah, that's right.
Andrew Tate got the Bugatti. Bonnie Blue get ran through.
Pretty much.
Not too crazy.
Yeah, pretty much. So they did a podcast together recently, and I'm going to ask you some question about it, okay? Bonnie said that sleeping with 1,000 men is empowerment. Do you agree with that?
Definitely not.
Why?
1,000 niggas, like, you ain't getting nothing out of it. You feel me? You just getting damaged. It's different for a man versus a woman. You feel me? Like, you 1,000 niggas, you that guy. You feel me? But you get by 1,000 niggas, like, it's not it.
I think it's just trying to prove a point that she's not right in it, and it doesn't have to be proved like that. You can be empowerment in many other things. 1,000 guys is not the way to show that.
It's like village.
Yeah.
Like
A little town in Mexico.
If a man did the same thing, you probably dap him up.
I don't really understand how it would be. I don't even think it's necessarily to shame, really, but I don't see what's necessarily empowering about that. How is just sleeping with a bunch of people, going about your business, empowering you in any way? I don't really understand it, especially for someone like herself. I assume she does it for money. It's more of a job than anything else. I don't know how it's empowering.
Your body, your choice, like, that ain't got nothing to do with me, you know what I mean? I just won't partake.
You want to be in the
No, I'm good.
number 900?
Stuffing 1,000 men in one home, in one bed, in one woman.
I think it depends on your perspective of what you perceive sleeping with a man brings to you. So if you look at sleeping with a man as empowerment, then of course 1,000 people would be extremely empowering. If you look at sleeping with a man as draining, then that would be extremely draining. It just depends on your perspective.
Okay, so but if I take some drugs like crack, I'm still like on my body and everything, but I still have the choice. Is it still empowerment?
If you're doing crack and it empowers you, I mean, I think that it just depends on measuring how it empowers you mentally versus like the logistics for your body. Yeah. Because if it's your body more than it's empowering you mentally, then it probably isn't good for you. You have to kind of have the duality in that.
If that for you is what empowerment is, yeah, but like you don't have to f 1,000 guys to know that you can do whatever you want.
You have the freedom to do whatever you want. That case is true, but there's like statutes in order. And as far as like a power dynamic, being able to sleep, men or women, being able to sleep with the opposite sex a bunch of times in a duration of 24 hours is, I wouldn't call it powerful. I'd just call it, regardless of my views, I feel like it still doesn't make it powerful. Like power is something else.
I feel like power comes when you can do what you want when you want. So if that's what she thinks is empowerment, then she's doing what she wants when she wants, sure. But for me, it's a little bit different. You know what I mean? Like I really think sex is like powerful. I think it's intimate, and it should be intimate.
Okay, yeah. You're romantic.
I am.
Yeah, bro. Andrew Tate said that Bonnie Blue is the result of feminism. Do you agree with that?
Kind of, not fully, but there's something in it. Because without feminism, her career would not be possible.
That shit that they be doing ain't real feminism. They just, I don't know, they just horny as fuck, for real.
I I mean, 1,000 men, you gotta be horny for that.
Yeah, that shit ain't empowering. You feel me? Like generations ago and shit. Like feminism was different. You feel me? Like
Okay, I still don't know her or her values specifically and how she was raised, but I do know that I try to deter from like feminism and kind of lean towards womanism as a phrase, because we're talking about intersectional feminism, which is women from the Americas, Africa, Europe. It doesn't matter. I don't know if she exemplifies feminism, but I do think that any woman who's being themselves and is authentic and is evasive of like avoiding the patriarchy and is like authentic within themselves, I guess, is a feminist. And if you advocate for other women and you create opportunities for other women, then you're also a feminist or a womanist.
I wouldn't say that feminism created like OnlyFans models and things like that. I would say that that's not like the symbol of what feminism is. A part of it, yeah, women being able to do whatever the fuck they want, like, yeah, that's chill. It doesn't really make a difference. I feel like people care too much about what the next person's doing. Is she the statute for what a feminine person is? No. Is feminism only that? No. Her doing whatever the fuck she wants, like it's chill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't say that that's power, and I wouldn't say that that's feminism.
In her own right, she probably believes it's feminism. So I feel like if she's exercising what she believes is empowering herself, you should do what makes you happy, and if it makes her happy, then that's part of the movement.
It can be a consequence, of that, but it's like more that was bound to happen because not because of feminism, but because of OF. You know, this was bound to happen, and it will happen more times. Like bukkake type of stuff.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
Andrew said at some point that love is a transaction, that a woman will give you sex in exchange of financial support and emotional support. What do you think about that?
I totally disagree. It's dumb. My sister said that, and I think it's very true. It's like you could live life alone, but you choose to have an adventure with someone else and choose to do something with someone else, and so you share moments with someone else. There's no financial things or anything.
Love is about like how you care about the values of the person, how you like treat each other. Like it's something. It's not like how many figures do you have in your bank accounts.
Love is more than that. It's more like support than it's more like sentimental and feeling like approach to someone, like feeling something with someone, like connecting with someone, and it's more than financial and supporting and money.
I think love is more than the sexual thing. It's more about how you connect with the other person.
I feel some of the shit that dude says, but that one is like, nah. I would say love is sometimes transactional, but it's not like sex versus money or sex versus this. It's like you got to make sacrifices for the people that you love, and that way, yeah, you can consider it transactional. But that quote you said, it's just like, come on, bro, like the fuck, like
I'm gonna take it out of my guy Charlemagne the God. Nah, that ain't it.
yeah, everything kind of transactional, especially nowadays.
Not really. No, I think it's a bond. That's what it's supposed to be, at least. Maybe for some people it's transactional, but for the very most part, I think it's just love.
When you go on social media, you see people will judge you based on what you're posting. If you have a crazy lifestyle, if you travel, if you're in fancy places, do you think this information changes your opinion, or you still like convinced about what you said?
Some women are more transactional in love for sure, and that goes for some men as well. Some men's only assets are their money, and that's it.
If you got game in real life, this is more important than online. I don't give a about online. I can go talk to anybody I want to.
I feel like, yeah, the digital footprint that we leave is very different from like who we are as people, and the only thing that can overcome those two entities is like energy. So it's like when you meet somebody, like if you looked at my Instagram before we had this interview, you might have like an idea of who I am, but then when you talk to me, the energy doesn't lie. Like you can't fake it.
If you're a man and you've been with a woman that's been with another man before you, you're gay. You agree with that?
No, everybody fuck somebody. That one I don't agree with, because like there ain't any virgins anyway. What you gonna do? Just not never be with nobody? I think it just be saying shit for shock value. Like a lot of what he says is good, productive, and positive for like young men, but a lot of shit he be saying is just to make people click and talk about it. You feel me?
No, of course not. It's a really stupid argument. Again, he likes to say controversial things, so he gets a lot of views and stuff like that.
Honestly, I don't care what he thinks.
So is Andrew Tate gay?
You can't say that on camera. Right?
I don't know. I feel that it's very stupid to judge someone from their past. Like it's done. It's done. Just go forward.
Everybody has have a past life, and everybody has done things because any reason, and it doesn't mean that you are gay or.
Obviously, that's wrong, but I think that rhetoric is kind of dangerous, especially for someone like himself, who's always going on and on about sleeping with a bunch of women. As he gets older, is he just gonna have to go? Is he always going for just young women? Like, if you're really deep what that logic entails, when's he gonna f a child?
I don't know why these kind of people do these things. Not only Undershade or Bonnie Blue, they are just the apex of their respective shit because they need to be heard and they don't say a lot of useful shit. They say horrible shit, so they can be heard.
But that'll be all for today's video, guys. Honestly, we had a lot of good takes, and I feel like the general consensus was that Top G needs to stop clickbaiting. My guy, you are too old for that. And Bonnie Blue, she's the exception. She does not represent the entire population. And I would have loved to interview more women because I feel like they have a lot to say about that, but I couldn't. I literally had to change clothes to keep the interview going on. But obviously, I am a commentary channel, so I will post the video with my take on it. So stay tuned for that.
We'll say it again. Say it again. Man, shout out you, man. Appreciate the interview.
No worries.
Victor win by Yamba.